Hi everyone, welcome back. In this lesson you are going to continue creating the landing page and we will create these chart graphics. We are going to start with the first one, which is this one. I will make a copy out of it. Press on the Alt and bring a copy outside of the artboard, and we are going to recreate our chart over here. So the first thing we are going to do is to create a rectangle. The base shape is rectangle, something like this. I will try my best to make something similar, but it doesn't need to be 100% similar. Okay, actually we're going to disable the border. I'll move it up a bit. And then I'm going to use the pen tool to create this line. Go to the pen tool over here, and we are going to make a rough shape of the line. It doesn't need to be perfect at the first. We are going to adjust the points. I'll just try to make something similar like this. Press on the escape to disable the pen tool. Okay, now I will select each point and you're going to adjust their position and their curviness. I'm not sure if curviness is a word, but let's use it. Okay, let's adjust this one as well. When you click on an empty area, it will create a point actually. So make sure that you're selecting on the points themselves. Okay, you try to create something similar to this one. Okay, one last thing. I think we are good. Now I will select it and increase the size of the border. Make it 4 and change the color, make it this color. I use the eyedrop tool to change the color. Now select the white background shape, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, make a copy above the line, make sure it's above it. Now select it with the line, and then you are going to use the mask. So select this one with the line, press on the shift and select both of them. Right click and mask with shape. Now the line is appearing only inside the shape that you put over it. As you can see, this is the background and we have the line appearing inside the background, which is the mask itself. Okay, now select the background again. We are going to add a linear gradient to it. Go to the fill and choose the linear gradient. We are going to move this point over this corner and this one over this corner. We are going to change this one to white. Click on it and make it white. This one we are going to keep it white, but we are going to bring down the opacity for it. So make sure to bring down the opacity a bit. Somewhere around here. Let's keep it like this. Now select the background, Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V to make a copy out of it. And now make sure that this copy is behind the line and behind the other background. And then we are going to move it down like this. Then press on the Shift and Alt together to make it smaller from the center. Something like this. And then you are going to bring down the opacity for it. Make it 50, 57 or 58. Like this is good. As you can see, this background is appearing behind the other one. We are going to adjust the linear gradient for this one. I'm going to move this point up. Or actually, let's bring this down again. We are going to make the other background smaller, which is this one. Click on it and we are going to make it small like this so it doesn't appear behind the other one. And then select this one again, go to the linear gradient, and now we can adjust it a bit like this. I'll bring down the opacity even more. Or actually, let's make it like this. Make a point over here and make the opacity full. And now we have fixed the issue. The next thing we are going to do is this dollar sign with these texts. We'll make a circle like this. Obviously, it's very easy. We will make the dollar sign Okay, like this. Then you will change the font to medium. We are using Rubik. And select the circle. We will change the fill to linear gradient. And let's choose both of the colors. Select on this one, eyedropper, get the color from here. Select this one, select on the eyedropper and get the color from here. Now we have our gradient. We will disable the border. And then we will move the $sign over it. We will make it smaller. And move it in the middle. Like this, we are good. Now let's create these two lines that represent the text. We will use the rectangle tool, make a rectangle like this. And we are going, or actually, we will disable the border and make the fill. Oh, sorry, I chose the wrong eyedropper. Let's use this eyedropper for the fill and get the color from here. And now we are going to round the corners. Let's make it a bit thinner. And you will make it duplicate. Press on the Alt and make it duplicate. We will make the second one smaller and get the color from here. Actually, we got the same color. Let's fix it and then we'll change the color. Let's separate them a bit. Let me change the color for this now. Okay, I think I'll make them closer to each other. Okay, we are good. Select everything and right click and group them. Now we are moving them inside the chart like this. And the last thing is this dot. We are going to create a circle. And then with the border, make sure it's inside and then increase the size of it. And we are going to get the same color. And now we will make it a bit bigger. Something like this and move it over here. Okay, perfect. Now select everything, group them together, and you are done with this one. We are going to move it to its place, which is this one. Because they are 3D, it will go behind it. I'm going to select it, make it 3D, make sure you select it, and make it 3D, and move it up to be above the fonts. Okay, perfect. Let's remove this one. And we are going to create the second one, which is this one. Let's make a copy out of it. Press on the Alt and make a copy of it. Okay, the first thing we're going to use rectangle to make the base shape. Make a rectangle like this and round the corners. We will make it a bit thicker like this. And we are going to disable the borders, enable the shadows. Let's make it even more thin. And make sure that you round the corner again, like this. And yeah, like this you are good. Now go to the circle, make a circle. Make sure you fit inside this shape. Like this is good. Move it over here. And disable the border. Or actually we'll keep it for now. Let's go to the plugins. We are going to use the UI faces. And just select the photo. We don't play with any settings. Just select the photo and choose a photo from the photos that it gives you. Okay, you can use anything. I'll use this one. Apply. Now select the circle and disable the border. Okay, we are good now. Let's create these lines that represent the text. I'll just make a line like this. Disable the border. Get the color for the fill from here. And now zoom in. Make the corners round. We will make it a bit thinner. And make a copy. I'll make it a bit thicker. I made it way too thin. Okay. Move it over here. And then what you're going to do is to make another copy out of it. We will make this one very short like this. And then you will get the color from here. And just like this, we created everything. Now select everything, right click, group them together and move it to its position. It will be somewhere around here. Because it's 3D, it will go behind the other fonts. Make sure that you bring it up like this and make it a bit bigger. I'm going to zoom in and see if I ruined the alignment. I think I'm going to adjust this photo. Yeah, let's keep it like this. And like this, we created the second chart. I will select it, remove it, and now we are going to create the third one. I will make a copy out of it, press on the Alt and bring a copy over here. And then we are going to create this. This is very easy. I'm going to use a rectangle, make a shape like this, round the corners. Then I'll make it a bit shorter. Disable the borders. And now in the fill, use the linear gradient. For this one, you will make it white. The other one will be white, but you will bring down the opacity of it. This one is good. Now, I will select the background. Ctrl+C, Ctrl+V, make a copy. Then I will go to the layers. Over here, go to the layers and make sure that you select the below one and move it down. Then press on the Alt and Shift together to make it smaller. So move it down like this, then Shift and Alt together, make it smaller like this. Move it down a bit, and then you are going to bring down the opacity. Now we have this. As you can see, it appears behind the background. To fix that, I'll just select this one and make it shorter like this, so it doesn't appear behind the other one. And then select this one, go to the linear gradient, and move this point a bit. Okay, I think we fixed it like this. Okay, let's have another look at it. Okay, I'll just select this one and go to the gradient. I will decrease the opacity a bit. Okay, now let's create the other part, which is the circle with the 40% on it. I'll make a circle like this. And then you're going to disable the border, go to the fill, make it linear gradient. For the linear gradient, we will get the colors from here. Use the eyedropper to get the color from here. Select this side, use the eyedropper to get the color from this area. Okay, now we have our gradient circle. We will make another circle, which will be white. Disable the border, move it in the center of this one. And then you are going to go to the type tool, but let's make this one a bit bigger. Okay, we will use the type tool. We'll write 40 or 40%. No, actually we'll write only 40 for this one. Let's change the color for it. I will use the eyedropper for the fill and get this color or this one. They are both the same. Now duplicate it, press on the Alt and make it duplicate. Make this 1%, make it smaller, move it over here. Now we are going to select both of them and group them together. Right click and group. Let's make it smaller together and move it over here. I'll double click and move this one closer to 40. Okay, make sure it's in the middle. And now you will select everything together, right click and group them together. Now you will move them inside our chart like this. And the last thing you are going to do is to create these lines that represent the text. Make lines like this, disable the border, get the color from here. Now zoom in and round the corners. Of course, make it thinner and then round the corners. You'll duplicate it. Make it shorter, move it in the middle, and then get the color from here. Perfect. Now let's make this one a bit thinner and this one thinner. Move it to the right place, click on both of them, move them over here. As you can see, our lines are a bit white, or I don't know if they are tall or white, but let's make them smaller like this. Okay. And let's move this one also in the center. Okay, I think we are good like this. We created the other chart. Okay, we are good. Now let's select everything together, and we will group everything together. Right click and group them, and now move them in their place. Of course, it will go behind. Move it up with the 3D handles. As you can see, we have a very transparent background. I will double click on it. Make sure you select it, enable the background blur, and increase the opacity for the blur with this one. And we will keep it like this. Perfect. We've created all of the charts. Now one last thing is remained from this landing page. Let's remove this one. And we have the logos. We are going to create the logos. Okay, so these are the logos. I've already prepared them. It's very easy to prepare them. I just downloaded all of these logos from the internet, and then drag and drop inside the Adobe XD, for example this one. And then to edit them, I just right click on them. First make it smaller, any size that you want. Right click and edit in Photoshop. In the Photoshop, I added the white color to them. For example, color overlay, make it white, and then Ctrl S to save, or just file and save. Now if you go to the Adobe XD, it has been updated like this, and then bring down the opacity. So this is how I prepared these logos. I don't need to recreate everything again. I will just remove the background, select all of the logos, Ctrl C, click on this artboard, Ctrl V. Now we have all of the logos over here. They are grouped together as well. I'll move them over this place. You can always right click and group them together to make sure they are grouped, but they were grouped together actually. Now we will use the alignment tool to make sure it's in the middle, and like this we've created everything on the landing page. I'll see you in the next lesson, and we will continue creating this home page. See you there.